Okay. If there's any youth in the rotunda, the boys, please come to the masjid. We're about to start Youth Quran night, inshallah. So if there's anyone in the rotunda, please proceed to the main prayer hall, and inshallah we will begin our Youth Quran night. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خصوصا على سيدنا محمد المصطفى نبي المجتبى صلى الله عليه وسلم. أما بعد. Dear brothers in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As you all know, we have this Youth Quran night every second Friday of the month. And alhamdulillah, I know a lot of the brothers, and you can see and value and see the reflection of sincerity in their hearts, mashallah. They take time out in trying to prepare the Hufaz to come up here and recite. Same with the sisters, the Hafizat. They take time in order to get things ready for this. There's pizza that is ordered. There is a lot of effort and a lot of concern behind this. Can any of you youth tell me why there's such a big concern here in regards to all of you? So, can some of you tell me why do we have some of us concern about you? Any youth guess, please? Mahi? Why? So we can become good Muslims. Anyone else? Why, Ridwan? Why do we have so much concern here in the masjid for the youth? Why? What's the reason behind it, though? Good. That's right. That's the answer I was looking for. Because you are all the next generation of adults that are going to take over and control, inshallah, and influence further generations to come. Right? So that's why there's always a consistent effort made so that the youth are well educated in Islam, well educated in their manners, well educated in the Quran, so that we do not lose our deen. Because the same way you want to go to Jannah, the same way you want your parents to go to Jannah, the same way your parents want you to go to Jannah. So in order for all our families to go to Jannah, there has to be a consistent effort to be made for all the youth. So inshallah, that's why we have this Youth Quran night, to try and make that effort to, inculcate the love of Prophet ﷺ and the Quran into our hearts. So inshallah, without further ado, we have Brother Ashas here. Inshallah, he's going to recite Surah Bayyinah.
Okay. You want to introduce yourself? Yes. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. لم يكن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين والمنفقين حتى تأتيهم البينة رسول من الله يتلو صحفا مطهرة فيها كتب قيمة وما تفرق الذين أوتوا الكتاب إلا من بعد ما جاءتهم البينة وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا الله مخلصين له الدين حنفاء ويقيموا الصلاة ويصدق وذلك دين القيمة إن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين لنار خالدين فيها وما ذاك ورضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه وذلك دين القيمة إن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين في نار خالدين فيها أولئك هم شر البرية إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أولئك هم خير البرية جزاء من ربهم جنات عدن تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه ذلك لمن خشي ربه.
Takbir.
Takbir. Takbir. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. You know, every student, every kid that comes up here and performs, it should be a means of encouragement for the rest of us. You know, when I was beginning to learn how to speak, public speaking, you know, my very first, you can say khatira, was done in school. I was in Hifz, I was still memorizing at that time, I was not in Alim course yet. And I was just encouraged. You know, it was scary in the beginning. I came up and I was like, I don't know what everyone's going to say. I don't know my lines. I'm probably going to mess up. But you come up here and you do it once and you do it twice and you keep going. Alhamdulillah, now I've been speaking, public speaking for about 8 years, 10 years or so. And it just becomes second nature, right? You just become one with the people. So that's what we want. We want that fear, that stage fright to get off of you. And honestly, this brother that just came up here, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him in every way, shape, and form. Ameen. Him and his family. Ameen. It's a big encouragement for all of us. That, you know, what are we doing? We should be up here as well and trying to come up and recite the Quran, trying to come up and trying to advise others. This is a means of encouragement for everyone. That's the greatest thing that we can see in ourselves. And it's nothing to be shy about. That's another thing a lot of us are afraid that, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to come up here, I'm going to mess up. I might not be able to recite properly. No, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Come up here and recite. There's no shame, there's no embarrassment in reciting Quran. There's no embarrassment in coming up here and speaking about Prophet ﷺ. There's actually reward. You know, you never know. That brother, mashallah, he came up here and recited. Now a lot of us, maybe some of us right now get the encouragement. Then inshallah, next time I'm going to come up here and try to recite. Now what happened? That brother became a source of khair for someone else. Right? So we become sources of khair for someone else. We get the reward for that as well. So next time, inshallah, even though he may not be reciting next month, he will get reward because someone else recited. You get it? So that's how the hadith goes. Man sanna sunnatan hasanatan falahu ajru mithluha wa ajru man amila biha. That you get the reward, whoever does one good deed, and someone else becomes a cause for someone else to do that same good deed. They get the reward of that good deed of becoming a source, and for every person following afterwards, they also get the reward for that. Right? So this is the means of sadaqah jariyah. And the end of the hadith says, لا ينقصهم من أجورهم شيئا. That not a single bit of that reward is going to be reduced. So this should be a means of encouragement for all of us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq, inshallah, to come up here and try, participate, and emulate and elucidate the gathering with the Quran, inshallah. And that's one of the reasons why we start with the Quran, the qira'ah, so that we can gain the blessings and barakah from the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Without further ado, I would like to call Hafiz Samir, almost, right? You're almost Hafiz, mashallah. Inshallah, soon to be Hafiz. Samir, inshallah, will be reciting Quran for us.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والسماء ذات البروج واليوم الموعود وشاهد ومشهود. قتل أصحاب الأخدود النار ذات الوقود إذ هم عليها قعود وهم على ما يفعلون بالمؤمنين شهود. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والسماء ذات البروج واليوم الموعود وشاهد ومشهود. قتل أصحاب الأخدود النار ذات الوقود إذ هم عليها قعود وهم على ما يفعلون بالمؤمنين شهود. وما نقموا منهم إلا أن يؤمنوا بالله العزيز الحميد. الذي له ملك السماوات والأرض والله على كل شيء شهيد الذي له ملك السماوات والأرض والله على كل شيء شهيد إن الذين فتنوا المؤمنين والمؤمنات ثم لم يتوبوا فلهم عذاب جهنم ولهم عذاب الحريق إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ذلك الفوز الكبير إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ذلك الفوز الكبير صدق الله العظيم.
Takbir. They're a little tired. It's Friday night. Come on, guys. One loud one. Let's go. Takbir. That was a lot better, mashallah. Okay. So, that was a beautiful qiraat. Jazakallah khair. A lot Hafiz Samir, inshallah, soon. Please ask Hafiz Murtaza, inshallah, who will be Hafiz soon, inshallah, one day. So please come up here and enlighten us with some more qira'ah, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والسماء ذات البروج واليوم الموعود وشاهد ومشهود قتل أصحاب الأخدود النار ذات الوقود إذ هم عليها قعود هم على ما يفعلون بالمؤمنين شهود وما نقموا منهم إلا أن يؤمنوا بالله العزيز الحميد الذي له ملك السماوات والأرض والله على كل شيء شهيد إن الذين فتنوا المؤمنين والمؤمنات ثم لم يتوبوا فلهم عذاب جهنم ولهم عذاب الحريق إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ذلك الفوز الكبير إن بطش ربك لشديد إنه هو يبدئ ويعيد وهو الغفور الودود ذو العرش المجيد فعال لما يريد هل أتاك حديث الجنود فرعون وثمود بل الذين كفروا في تكذيب والله من ورائهم محيط بل هو قرآن مجيد في لوح محفوظ.
Takbir.
They're tired again. Takbir! There we go. Gotta wake them up every time, inshallah. Okay, so we have one translation too? Where's Amar, right? Inshallah, please can I come over here and enlighten us with the translation. So it's important to know the translation of the surahs, inshallah. That way we can connect to it in our own mother tongue, inshallah, of English for all those that live here right now. Inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am going to tell the translation of the Surah Al-Buruj. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This chapter talks about the story of some people in the land of Yemen, which was located at the lower end of Arabia. There was a Jewish king named Dunwas who had an old wizard. The wizard asked for a student. So the king arranged for a young boy to visit him every day to learn magic. On the road to the wizard's house, the boy met an old Christian man who also started to teach him about Prophet Jesus. So the boy had two teachers, one in the morning and one in the evening, and both teachers taught him opposite things. The old man asked the boy to keep his teachings and home a secret. One day, the boy decided that he liked the teachings of the Christian man better, and he gave up magic. He started teaching people to be good and kind, like Prophet Jesus was. The king was angry when he learned about this, and he tried to kill the boy, but Allah kept saving him. The boy tricked the king into telling a crowd that his teachings were the best to follow, and the boy gave his life to make this plan work. Then lots of people wanted to follow the teachings of the boy. The king got even more angry and ordered his soldiers to throw the believers into fire pits. This chapter mentions that time in history and tells how bad people will be punished for hurting innocent people. By the sky filled with constellations, by the promised day of judgment, and by the witness which is Friday in all that it witness. By these same tokens know that the pit diggers will be ruined, for they tried to destroy the believers with a well-fed fire. They gathered around it and saw full well what they were doing to the believers. They were hurting them for no other reason that they had faith in Allah, the Most High and Praised One, the one whose kingdom extends over the heavens and the earth, and Allah is a witness to all things. For sure, those who hurt the believing men and the believing women like that, and who don't say sorry for doing those bad things, they will be punished with the fires of hell, and in that way they will be punished with an even greater fire. Those who believe and do what's good and right will have gardens beneath which rivers flow, and that's the greatest success of all. Truly your Lord has a strong grip. He starts the creation and gives life back to the dead. Allah is the forgiving and the loving, the Lord of the throne of glory and doer of all He wants to do. Have you ever heard the stories of the big crowds of Pharaoh and of the people of Thamud? But no, the faithless still keep going in their rejection. Yet Allah is right behind them. Even though they keep rejecting it, this is a noble Quran that's forever kept on a protected table. Jazakallahu khair.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah, Takbir. Takbir. Takbir.
Allah.
So I guess the secret is I have to say it louder, then you guys say it louder. Khair. Okay, inshallah. So we'll start the questions, inshallah.
That's the fun part.
This is the fun part. Okay. So, how many of you guys read the study guide?
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, that's good. It's good, it's good. See how good you guys learned it. Okay, so for the 10 and under, first I'm going to start with that, 10 and under. Okay, easy questions. Okay, who took care of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam?
10 and under.
10 and under. If you're above the age of 10, do not raise your hand. You guys in the back, you're my students. Hamza, you're not 10 years old. Neither are you, Ahmed. You're 11. You're too old. Are you 10? Are you 10 in the blue? No? Are you 10? No? You're not 10? Okay, so put your hand down. If you're 10 and under, then raise your hand. You're 10? You're 10 too? You're 10? Okay, go ahead.
His uncle.
No. Okay, let me raise.
Repeat the question again, please.
Who took care of Prophet ﷺ when he was a baby while his mother was alive? Like there was a person that came, took care. Give him another chance.
Halima.
Yes, Halima Sa'diyah radiyallahu ta'ala anha. Good.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Repeat the question.
So the answer was that there was a woman who took care of Prophet ﷺ in his infancy. Okay, when he was a baby. Who was that woman? What was her name? Halima Sa'diyah radiyallahu ta'ala anha. Okay. Well, does anyone know her full name? I put her full name on the chart. This may be for 10 and older for this one. This one's a little bit harder. Does anyone remember this? Yes. Bin?
Halima bin Dawood.
Dawood? No. Do you want to give him a chance, Musa? You want to say it? Okay, in the back then, over there next to that brother.
You got it.
Her full name. What was her full name?
Halima bint Abu Duwaib.
Yes, Abu Duwayhib. That's right. Abu Duwayhib. What's her name?
Ibrahim.
Ibrahim. So Halima's full name was Takbir. MashaAllah, she remembered it. Halima bint Abu Duwayhib. Okay, good. Right? Her full name is Halima bint, the daughter of Abu, the father, Duwayhib. Her dad's name was Abu Duwayhib. Okay? Alright, moving on. This let's jump around, okay? This is for 10 and older, for this one, okay? What was the custom of the Arabs in regards to nurturing children, and why did they do what they used to do? Let's give it a sad. No, wait. You can give me the microphone.
They used to they used to send the children into the desert because they wanted to build stamina in the child, and they wanted them to learn Arabic.
Right, that's good. So the reason what the Arabs used to do was that there used to be a child that would be born in the family, and the beginning stages of life for the child are very, very crucial, right? A lot of us, when we were babies, I'm sure our parents massaged us with, baby oil. They take care of us, make sure they give us a bath every day and stuff, right? Similarly, the Arabs used to give the child in care to someone else, right? These people used to come from out of town, from the outskirts of the city, and they used to visit Mecca, and they would take a child in lieu of some sort of money, right? So you would pay me, or pay the nurse about, X amount of money or X amount of dinars or dirhams, and that nurse would take the child into her own care for her own responsibility and keep the child with her and take care of the child. Nurse the child, feed the child, whatever she had to do, and that child would grow strong and healthy, and the child would also learn Arabic purely, a pure form of Arabic, because the Arabic that the Arabs spoke in the outskirts of the city was unaffected by any slang. You know how a lot of us here speak English with like, yo, what's going on? Right? We speak like gunna's not a real word. And we speak kind of like thuggish sometimes, right? Slang, right? That's not real Arabic. That's not real English, right? That's slang. Similarly, the Arabs, they had the same thing, that the people who lived in the outside of the city, they spoke properly. So they wanted the children to learn eloquent language, so they just send them out, okay? All right, did you get your little award? You got one? Saad? You got your little gift card? Yes? Okay, good. All right. Next question. This should be for 10 and under, okay? What was the condition of Halima's family before she took Prophet ﷺ in her care? In the orange sweater, please. Microphone, please. Brother. What's your name, sorry, brother? I'm sorry?
My name is Sohail.
Sohail, okay.
Halima's current condition before Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was she had livestock, but the livestock wouldn't give milk because the grass was not green, and the conditions were very low. There wasn't very much food.
Right, so she was in poverty. Okay, mashallah, that's good. So before coming into the care or taking care of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Halima Saadiya's family was very poor. Okay, like he said, the camel rider was weak, the camel wouldn't give any milk, the sheep were hungry, there was no grass, all this stuff was going on. She was facing a lot of poverty. Okay, now, someone else tell me, what happened after Halima Saadiya took Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in her care? Yes, I want someone else. Okay, you're there. Give you another try. The one in there. What's your name, brother? Someone new. What's your name?
My name is Hisham, and
Zishan? Okay.
The camels started getting a lot of milk, and they started getting strong, and they went from poor to kind of rich.
Right. Okay, mashallah. That's good. You got it right. You got it right. Yes, you got it right. So the answer was that Halima Saadiya, after she took Prophet ﷺ in her care, this was no ordinary baby. This baby was blessed from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So her life changed. Our economical state changed, and she gained a lot of wealth. She was not affected. Her locality was not affected by the drought. There was a drought in her locality, but it did not affect her sheep, okay? It did not affect the grass around her area, right? And they, mashallah, made it out, the camels and everything miraculously started gaining milk in their udders and stuff, okay? Moving on, I want a small kid for this one. What was and how frequently would Halima Saadiya bring Prophet ﷺ back to visit his mother? Yes, in the back. The little kid in this. You. What's your name?
Munib.
Munib. What is the answer?
Munib Dadani.
MashaAllah. What's the answer to the question?
Every 6 months.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah, you got it right. Every 6 months, MashaAllah. Takbir. 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 Munib, can you please tell us kindly, how old are you? How old? 6? MashaAllah. 6 years old, and you got that right. MashaAllah. So it's you memorized 3 juz too. MashaAllah, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, your parents, your family, in every way, shape, or form. Ameen. How long was the Blessed Prophet ﷺ in the care of Halima Sa'diyah? In the blue. I don't have the microphone. How long was the Prophet ﷺ in the care of Halima Sa'diyah radiyallahu ta'ala anha? Yes, in the blue jacket.
And let me know what happens.
3 years? Not quite. No. Green. 6 years? No. Some people are not practicing, are not studying. Okay, or here. 5? No. You want guessing numbers? Is like the
That's the last chance.
last chance? Oh, yeah. The Adidas shirt. The Adidas. Yes. 4? No. Don't yell. Yell it out. Huh? Move on. Okay, the answer is 2 years. 2 years. Yeah, you yelled it out. You didn't wait till me to choose you. So 2 years is how long Halima Sa'diyah kept Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay. Should we do the tafsir questions now or move on? How many more do you have? How many more questions?
Yeah, 5 more.
5 more? Okay,
Yeah.
so let's do one more
Yeah.
tafsir question and then move on to tafsir inshallah. Okay. What happened after the Prophet ﷺ was done, was weaned? Weaned, does anyone know what weaned means? A baby is nursed by the mother for 2 years. After that, the baby can now eat solid food. That means the baby is weaned. Okay? So now, what happened after Prophet ﷺ was weaned, meaning that he did not need any liquid food anymore, he can eat solid food. And what happened in the care of Halima Sa'diyah? Okay? These two things. We're going to make this into one question. Okay? Go ahead, Zayd. First, tell me what happened after he was weaned. When he started eating solid food, what happened first then? Saad, don't tell him. I can see that you're whispering into his ear. No cheating.
Angel Jibril came and he threw Muhammad Sallallahu on the ground and he opened.
Okay, don't say you threw him. Okay, he placed him. He laid him on the floor. Okay.
He placed him on the floor, and
Listen, guys. One thing you guys all to note on a serious note: whenever we speak about Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam or any Sahabi, we make sure we say radiyallahu anhu after the Sahabi's name. We say sallallahu alaihi wasallam after the mentioning of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we are extremely careful with our wording. Okay, remember that. So now, go ahead, Zayd. Tell me what happened.
Angel Jibril placed Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu on the ground. He split his chest open and he took out his heart. He took this black piece from his heart. He threw it away and he washed Prophet Muhammad Sallallah's heart in Zamzam and he placed it back.
Right, mashallah. In other narrations, it says he filled up with wisdom, and he also, blessed him as well. There was 4 times when the Prophet ﷺ's heart was split. Does anyone know all 4 times? Mashallah. Murtaz, alhamdulillah, you already got a certificate, right? You got one, right? You got one? Is he making me a deal? How about we give another person a chance, and inshallah they'll do it. Mahi, go ahead, tell me. For the 4 times, list all 4 times. 4 times, Prophet ﷺ's heart was opened and the heart was washed. His chest was open and heart was washed. Name all 4 times.
The first time was when he was with Halima. The second time was when he was 10 years old. The third time was during the Revelation. The fourth time was between the Isra and Miraj.
Right, before this one, mashallah, all 4 times you got it right. Okay? Make sure you say Halima Sa'diyah radiyallahu ta'ala anha. Say the entire thing, okay? Okay, moving on to the tafsir questions. Okay, we have 4 more gift certificates left? About 4 more? Okay? 3 more? Okay, 3 more questions inshallah. Why does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take oath on things? By things in the Quran? Hamza's in my tafsir class, and that's how he knows this one. No, not Hamza. In the gray. What's your name? Huh? What? Rayyan. Rayyan, the mic, inshallah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes oaths on things because He's trying to symbolize that those things are great.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Takbir. That's a great answer. So, normally when someone takes an oath on something, they take it so that you believe them, right? That, okay, I'm not lying. I said wallahi, I said this, I said that, right? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is impossible. We never expect a lie from Him because He doesn't need to lie to anyone, right? He's the ultimate supreme authority. So when He takes oath by something like wal asr, I swear by time, what does that signify to us? The importance of time. That time is very, very important. All of us, everyone looks at the uncles, right? And like, oh, okay, the uncles, mashallah, Zahir uncles, mashallah, so young, all the uncles here are so young, mashallah. I'm not calling you uncle. I'm just joking, right? It's funny, right? Because they were your age just a while ago, right? And time flew by. I was telling the kids today, I went to Rice Middle School, and I was telling them, you guys have to think about your future, because things are going to happen so fast. I mean, the other day I thought I was 12, right? But now I'm sitting here and I'm getting white hair too now. I'm getting worried. What am I going to do? SubhanAllah. So you have to think, life goes by so fast. You're thinking right now, I'm just a little kid. I can just play basketball and have fun. No, think. So this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He took oath by time because it's something very valuable. And once these moments go away, they'll never come back. Okay, remember that. Next question. We have 2 more gift cards? Okay. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took oath of something which is attended. By the thing which is attended. So, وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الْبُرُوجِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْمَوْعُودِ, the promised day. وَشَاهِدٍ وَمَشْهُودٍ. Mashhud, that thing which is attended. What is that day, what is that thing referred to? MashaAllah, we have Munib in the back. I'm going to raise another hand. MashaAllah. You guys know it? Saad just told you to right now. Right there in the glasses. No, the roof cut backs. Right here, in front of me. Yes. Muawiyah?
The day of judgment?
No. Mashhood. It's wrong. The one next to him. Next to him. Next to him in the gray sweater. What's your name? Zuhair. Okay. Mashhood. What does it mean? The day that the attendant.
Arafah?
Arafah, mashallah, that's right, the day of Arafah. That's good, mashallah. The last question, this is going to be the hard one, okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He took oath by 4 things, okay? وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الْبُرُوجِ, I swear by the constellation of the stars. وَالْيَوْمِ الْمَوْعُودِ, the day, the promised day. وَالشَّاهِدٍ وَمَشْهُودٍ, the thing which is continuously attending and the thing which is attended. The thing that is وَالشَّاهِد, the thing that's attending is referring to Jummah. Jummah comes every week, right? Comes over and over again. So He's attending to us. Right? Mashhud, people go and attend it. People go fly all the way to Saudi Arabia to go attend the day of Arafah. Right? So now what is the importance and the connection between all 4 of these things? You really know what, Ahmed, you do? Okay, go ahead. I know you do, inshallah. I'll give it to you if it is around.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Assalamu alaikum. My name is Imran. It's real laughing, seriously. Alright, so
I'm watching.
So he swears by those because it's like really important.
No, that's wrong. Okay. Anyone else know?
Okay.
Murtaza, you really want to ask for it? Okay, let's go. He knows it. I know he knows it. MashaAllah, he knows it.
The constellations of stars, the day of Arafah, the day of Friday, the day of judgment.
Right, what's the connection between all 4? The last thing I'm study guide. No? Okay, Ahmed in the back.
They're all important.
He said that. That's not the right answer. Saad.
It says constellations, Arafat, Juma, and Arafat. So,
What's the connection between all four?
okay, so I think Arafat's on Friday, and then Juma's on Friday, and then the constellation will link to it later.
Okay. We'll replace this question with another question. We'll replace this question with another.
No, check it. Adults know it.
The adults? I don't think the adults study the study guide. Does any of the adults know it? Know the answer? Any of the adults? No one wants to answer? I don't think. You know it? You can try, okay.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Kashif. I think they all remind us of a gathering of Day of Judgment.
Okay.
Reminders of Day of, because everything is lot of number on same star, lot of number, Juma, gathering of lot of number, and Arfa is gathering of lot of numbers, so they remind us for the Day of Judgment gathering.
MashaAllah, that's a nice guess. You took a very intuitive guess. Let me just explain real quickly, okay?
So it's not right?
Not the answer I'm looking for, but that's a nice answer though, mashallah. Okay, so anyway, the constellation of stars is a huge creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? A huge creation is a sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's infinite power. Okay? So when something of such great magnitude is created, everything has a sense of life in it. These stars witness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's power. So they also submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَالْيَوْمِ الْمَوْعُودِ, the Day of Judgment is also a huge sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's power. That He created the entire universe, He created all of us, He created our parents, He created mankind from Adam alayhi salatu wasalam till now, until the Day of Judgment. Imagine all the animals, all the fish in the sea, all the small microorganisms. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has knowledge of all of those things. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, while He's taking oath of the Day of Judgment, He's saying that I swear that I will destroy everything and bring it back to life. So all this stuff will come back to life, and to the extent where a goat that had horns in this world hit another goat that did not have horns. The goat that did not have horns will be given horns on the Day of Judgment and will be able to take its revenge from the goat that did have horns in this world. Okay? So the Day of Judgment is also a huge sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's a reminder for all of us that when we think about the Day of Judgment, look, all of us are also going to be standing on that plain of Arafah. So you're right in that sense. It's a reminder of a huge gathering, right? The thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to remind us of is that we have to prepare for it. Okay? And then the final two things, the way they connect to the things I just mentioned right now, is that Jumu'ah and Arafah. These are two things that are very similar. Why? Why are they so special? Why is Jumu'ah and Arafah so special? What happens on these days? Hamza? Huh? People gather to do what? Party. To worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These 2 days are days of dua and of salah. Right? So these 2 days are what? Great opportunities for all of us to prepare for the Day of Judgment. Okay? So the first two things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took oath by were things of His power. And the other two things He took oath by were two opportunities for us to prepare for the day when we'll see His power. When He brings everything back to life after everything has been destroyed. Right? So this was the connection between all four of these things. It was written in the study guide. MashaAllah, I hope that even adults now can take, inshallah, interest in reading the study guide. Okay, inshallah. So we'll end off right here and we'll have pizza, okay? No problem.